What is science fiction? Science fiction is a subgenre of fictional literature, mainly narrative, cultivated from the 20th century on in various printed media and with a different audience and range of acceptance. Whose principle lies in the creation of speculative stories about the impact of science and technology in human life. Science fiction is traditionally thought of as a genre that dreams of future worlds and future technological capabilities, a consideration that makes the genre heavily dependent on a divinatory capacity, such as that attributed to Jules Verne, a writer who predicted balloon travel and in a submarine in his adventure novels. However, the science fiction proposal is much more complex. The range of topics that usually interests him ranges from dystopian futures and future societies to parallel worlds, robots, interstellar or time travel, virtual realities, alien cultures, or physical dilemmas of known reality. Any theme that raises a fictional story based on the extrapolation, exaggeration, assumption, theorization, of the discourse of science and technology can belong to this narrative genre. Science fiction authors have profusely cultivated the genre of the short story and the novel, although it is possible to find works inscribed in this genre in the media of cinema, animation, comics, and video games. This is due to the enormous popularity that the genre has acquired from the mid-20th century to the beginning of the 21st, thus becoming one of the most fashionable and most commercially and artistically exploited popular imaginaries. Origin of science fiction. Although there are literary works long before the creation of the genre, but that could well be considered its predecessors, such as Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, the works of Jules Verne, and even the myths of the Jewish golem and some stories from the Bible, it is estimated as the beginning from science fiction to the beginning of the 20th century. In particular the decades between 1920 and 1930, in which the Great Economic Depression promoted the need in young generations to consume escapist, fantastic stories that would allow them to enter other parallel realities and escape their own. This is how the first comic magazines that popularized the genre were born, such as Amazing Stories by Hugo Gernsback. This origin explains the aura of contempt and marginalization with which the genre will be thought of from now on, associating it with low-class escapist and popular literatures. However, in the following years authors of the literary caliber of Isaac Asimov, Robert Heinlein and Arthur C. Clarke cultivated the novel and the science fiction story with great artistic merit. Other authors who confirmed the place of this speculative genre in world literature were Philip K. Dick, Ray Bradbury, Stanislav Lem, and even Adolfo Bioy Casares and Jorge Luis Borges. Science fiction features. Science fiction explores the dreams and fantasies of humanity. In general lines, we can identify science fiction as a genre characterized by being eminently narrative, whether long or short, although there are also rare incursions into the world of poetry. Interested in scientific and technological discourse, even as an excuse to question reality, time, life, death, and other transcendental issues of humanity. Have a certain margin of technological prediction, attributable more than anything to the fact that this genre investigates the dreams and fantasies of humanity that science is determined to make come true. Science fiction examples. Some examples of science fiction literary works are I, Robot by Isaac Asimov, Appointment with Rama by Arthur C. Clarke, The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury, I Am Legend by Robert Matheson, The Invention of Morel by Adolfo Bioy Casares, Neuromancer by William Gibson. Science fiction elements. Each author of the genre freely addresses their concerns and interests, as in any other. Even so, it is possible to trace some of the recurring motifs of the genre in a series of conflicts. Human inventiveness. The development of novel technologies that endanger the stability of life as we know it, or that have a catastrophic or unfair or morally challenging impact on the way societies are organized, such as biotechnology, time travel, etc. The space adventure. The exploration of the universe and the positive, negative, and surprising consequences that this entails, such as contact with extraterrestrial cultures, the formation of galactic governments, the encounter with the origins of the universe, the encounter with God. Unforeseen natural phenomena. The use of science and technology as allies of man in the struggle to preserve his home, cataclysms, or to flee from extinction at the hands of unpredictable and unstoppable natural forces. Artificial intelligence. Robotics and the exploration of artificial intelligence, with all the ethical and moral questions that it entails, if not the confrontation between the creative human being and his creation.